Hey, oh, yes, I'm just here today. Because it is late. Did I ever stop the timer? I did not. Lamau. Again, as always. No loading screen? Nope. Because it's so late already, there's really no point waiting 5 more minutes. If you can't tell, there was a reason I wasn't here. It's still kind of bad. But I didn't want to miss today. This is why I generally try not to open the window when there is smoke outside, but when you have rich motherfuckers who have to burn shit every night just because it's nearing Christmas, you know. I forgot to do the Discord notifications. Oh my god. I guess there is a downside to me not doing the start screen, is that I don't have the habit of doing everything else during the start screen. Start screen, damn. Not even talking properly, apparently. Can't even manage that one. I forgot it doesn't go to the next track. Happy, oh my god, yeah, that is today, huh? Happy birthday. Look at that, it's a good thing I streamed today, huh? Followers. Kind of suspect. Hope you never followed me. Why is my thing not working? Why does it still say 0 viewers? Can't remind me how to do it now. I don't know what to do today. Did it? I half feel like I'm choking to death. Okay, should be good with everything now. Now the question of what to do. Oh yeah, Opie, did you see that, I forget what dev team it is that does, Warzone, but they said they'd be working with Treyarch to, fix aim assist in Warzone as well. So it won't even only be the base game, it will be Warzone as well. I believe the changes is, rotational aim assist, obviously, you know, left stick will no longer do anything. And the right stick has to be going in the direction of the player for it to actually initiate and actually start working. Wonder if it'll actually matter that much. Well, they're at least required to move the stick in the general direction of the player now. You can't just spam your ADS to immediately lock onto someone's head. Linear rotation would be crazy. Thinking at that point, controller won't be the obvious better choice. I saw someone saying that keyboard and mouse needed a nerf too, and they were like, make it longer to change targets. So, like, turn down the sensitivity. It's like, people really try to quote unquote think of a nerf for keyboard and then just say or keyboard and mouse and just say the dumbest things on the planet. Like, yes, make the time to switch targets longer, therefore you're just turning down the sensitivity. Seems like they think it just like auto switches for you or some shit. I don't know. Looks as if there is no good itch games. Sort the Court? How the hell is this a horror game? Huh? Hope you check these. That is crazy. It just came in here to tell him to check Telegram. Inspired by fears to find them in Chilla's art. Of course you have a filling up your gas tank scene. Makes so much sense. This shit look like Terraria. Doesn't even look like his own game. Literally just look like modded Terraria. Yeah, I think it's safe to say I've probably played like basically all of these. I'm here to curse, yeah? Promises to keep a free wintertime slice of life store. How is that? How is that a horror game? I got it. Fluffy person equals scary. Ah, yes. Half sword. Wait, why is there... Why? How come they have an interior building on itch? What the fuck? The itch version, they have different arenas and shit. That's not fair. What the hell? Why is the... Yeah, someone literally did it 14 days ago. Why is the itch version got outdoors? Why is the Steam one not... Oh, big update soon. That's probably why. That's not fair. I played the underdeveloped version. Even though it was the later version somehow. Someone stole my lunch. Oh, I bet that one terrified Queso, yeah. Right under the horror category, I guess. Happy Cat Tavern. How are these horror games? Five Nights at Anime. Oh no. That is crazy. Definitely not that one. Attack on Titan. They got an AOT game on itch, bro. Play it? I'm good. I forgot to start the timer. Oh god, it was supposed to be 3 hours. Open control panel. Reset. It'd be like 340 now. Wait, oh my god, I just did that shit backwards. It's 240. What the fuck? I added instead of taking away. It's movie night, isn't it? I don't fucking know. Technically, it was last night. Because it was Monday. The actual technical time. The day it was supposed to be. There you go. 240. Oh yeah, Tuesday. It was Monday, Thursday. I thought it was Tuesday, Thursday. It was Monday, Thursday. Although we've done extras anyway, so it doesn't really matter anymore. There's not like any set date for it. Oh yes, Night of the Consumers for $5. God damn. What is this title? this this game is called My Buddy Did Something Weird and Now I Have Feelings for Him. Question mark, exclamation mark, question mark, exclamation mark, question mark. That's crazy, bro. Damn. That's just straight up a P word game, a Bloodborne game. It was not free. Most recent. To finish Bloodborne, I do not. I need to do no such thing. Raccoon the Little Bandit. Dance Macabre. Escape from the catacombs as a group of dancing skeletons. How the hell is this supposed to be a horror game, bro? A 3D top-down navigational rave. Yep. People really just make shit. Checkpoint 57 is $1 now. That is crazy. Remember that scuffed game I played with the shack and the checking cars and IDs? Yeah, that's $1 now. It was free. They really said, you know what? 20 people played it. Let's make it $1. The Box of Fear Demo 2. Well, if I hadn't played Demo 1, I would play Demo 2. But unfortunately, I played Demo 1. So it would be 90% of the exact same stuff again. I actually do not know what to do. Everything I've been looking to do, I've already done. I'm under just chatting already. I am. I guess there's chatting. And by chatting, I definitely don't mean just throwing up videos again for 3 hours. What's going on with Apple Vision Pro? They discontinued that shit because it was too expensive, not making money. That's what's going on with it. What the hell? That's a lemon reaction. What the hell is the front page, bro? Daily Dose definitely has something, right? No.
These are the...
We are going on every 3 days now. Okay, that was loud as shit. We're just gonna... Yeah.
blow out.
We're at every 3 days now, not very daily. Unnecessary sequels. Oh my god. He talked about it. He addressed the elephant in the room, or I guess more so the not elephant in the room. Is wine a scam? Probably, yeah. We'll do the obvious one first. That is crazy quality.
I just saw Black Phone 2, so I'll give you a review of it, but as you can probably already guess from the title, it's expanding to a bigger topic of unnecessary sequels. This is now the third sequel film I have seen in just the last 4 months that is completely useless. That is just a blatant cash grab off of a successful one-and-done movie. The triforce of slumber that I'm talking about with these snoozers is Nobody 2, Megan 2, and now Black Phone 2. One thing all three of these have in common is they're not horrible. Like, they're not really bad movies, but it is just so clear when you see them that they had to reach deep into their ass and fiddle around with their colon to pull this poop out here to try and find a way to bring it back so that way they could guarantee some ticket sales. Because those movies, Nobody, Megan, Black Phone, were all pretty successful and well-liked. And, you know, if something is liked, it means
Black Phone was
it can
kinda...
be monetized thoroughly
I think it was
until you
okay.
fucking hate it. So... Hollywood doesn't like to leave money on the table.
To watch on. Yeah.
They had to try and find ways to milk these properties for all they're worth. Get in there and start fucking tugging on those udders till they fall off.
My upload's
so
not good
now
enough.
Black Phone 2 comes out. Just like Megan 2, it's kind of a completely different movie set in the universe. Megan 2 went from like a thriller to a goddamn like Spy Kids action movie. Black Phone, I actually just watched it again. Well, I don't even remember if I watched it the first time around, to be honest, because I didn't remember anything from it. But I just watched it literally an hour and a half before seeing the second one, so everything was super fresh. I think it's a really good movie. I'm guessing I just didn't watch it when it came out because I probably would have remembered it. I watched it today. I liked it a lot. It is a missing persons thriller. It's not really a horror movie, but it has like some supernatural elements that integrate like a little horror to it. But more so than anything, it is a missing person thriller where a kid is kidnapped by the grabber, whom they're trying to make a horror icon now, which I think is so fucking cringe, trying very hard to ham-fist him into like horror culture. But this kid is kidnapped by the grabber, as he has kidnapped other kids and killed them, and he is now trying to figure out ways to escape. And he's getting some phone calls on the phone where he's being held captive,
yeah, like the first
from
movie.
The dead kids, his previous victims, that are giving him little breadcrumbs, little pieces of the puzzle on how he could possibly get out. It's a very cool movie. Black Phone 2, however, has nothing interesting like that. It's kind of like Diet Freddy Krueger meets a season of Stranger Things. Again, it's not bad, and there's some cool shots in here. I'm going to get into spoilers. Here's your spoiler warning. That's out of the way. This one is much more of just a
I do not care.
generic
I not watch
horror
it.
movie. Finn is no longer the main character. It's Gwen, which is fine. And I do appreciate that they don't just have Finn move on, you know, as if nothing happened to him. Like, he just doesn't go, you know, back to normal life, lickety-split. He is still struggling with all of the trauma that he experienced from the first film. I think that is a very good extension of his character. It's set 3 years after that. And Gwen is now getting these nightmares, these dreams, which she had in the first film, and these dreams have expanded into something far more sinister, where she's seeing these 3 kids that were brutally murdered at a
When
camp.
goof juice down in
camp
his own
that
state.
her
That's
mother
crazy,
just
but
happened
yes, it
to
is.
work at. And she's also
I haven't-
connecting to her mother.
I haven't had
through
Game
these
Steps in
dreams.
like 3 months. Damn.
And that's an interesting expansion of the character from the first Black Phone, the mother, who had the same abilities that Gwen had that apparently drove her mad and caused her to kill herself. And we get a lot more lore about her, which I do think is cool, but that's not the bulk of the film.
Can
The
I
bulk of the
hug you?
film is
I can't lift
in
up my
order to
arms.
try and solve the mystery of why she's dreaming of these 3 kids and what the mother's connection is. Finn, Gwen, and Robin's brother Ernesto, they go to the camp to try and piece it together, and while there, the Grabber starts infiltrating Gwen's dreams, and then it is fully, basically just Freddy Krueger, except a really incompetent version of Freddy Krueger. All of, like, the fear and the eeriness and
I
anxiety
can't
that
wait for the Grabber to be added to
could
DVD so nobody plays him.
cause in the first film, like all of the tension that would build every time the Grabber was on screen is just gone in this one. Now he's basically someone cosplaying Freddy Krueger. So every time Gwen sleeps, she's encountering these kids, which happen to be the Grabber's first victims. And I hate this direction that sequels like to go because, again, they have to scrape the bottom of the barrel because, well, the movies that sometimes they're making a sequel on were movies that were fucking fully closed off and benefited from some mystery, some unanswered questions. This one, of course, does what a lot of them like to do, try and flesh out the evil presence, when a big part of what made that presence so effective was not having those details about them. This movie fleshes him out a little bit. He worked at that camp with their mother, and also another character that is now working at the camp in the current day and age. His name is Mondo. And we learn that the Grabber, he was nicknamed Wild Bill Hickok. So Bill killed 3 kids at the camp,
like
hid their bodies, and now he's escaped hell and wants revenge, so he's going to kill Gwen to get back at Finn. And he also just wants to kill as many people as he can. Spoiler alert, he's very bad at killing people in this movie. He kills nobody at all. Despite having all that power and everything, basically what he does amounts to just picking people up.
Bro is a demon from hell
Them a little bit,
and
or, like,
got a
choking them
4-man
poorly.
escape. That's
he swings
crazy.
his axe a few times, but he's
Over
like
to 4.
extremely terrible with his axe, so he doesn't kill anyone. He hurts somebody once, like he cuts Gwen's arm with his axe once, and then he just gets fucking blasted with a spirit blast that Gwen is able to use because she eventually realizes that she's dreaming, which means she can start to influence these dreams. So then she gets like a huge force push on him. And this is why I say it gets a lot like Stranger Things, because now she's fighting him like that. It's just so much weaker than the first one, and it's so clear that this is a movie that was made solely because
I
they
think
knew
once you
people
start
would go see it.
once you start giving the protagonist superpowers, it is no longer a horror movie. It is a fucking comedy. Like, it loses any sense of horror whatsoever.
Off of the goodwill the first one built up. Now, these dream sequences are shot very well. I actually love the style where they make it all grainy and foggy, where it does feel very ethereal. And it's got like this really ominous noise going on. Like, I do like the way they distinguish, reality from the dream on screen. I think it looks cool. And I know this is directed by the same guy, so it makes sense, but it very much reminded me of those scenes from Sinister where he's looking at the tapes. Like, it was, an eerie feel to what you were seeing. But I think it was just so undercut by having Gwen be like, you fart knocking shit biscuit fucking dweeb loser pussy, as she's like
I might have to watch it now.
the Grabber in
Oh
the
my god.
dreams.
She actually
I
says
don't
shit
know.
like that.
I don't think it worked very well. Now, I think that's a fine extension of Gwen's character from the first film, because she said that same kind of shit in the first one, but she wasn't doing, like, psychic battles with a demon in the first movie. Here, it just feels so goofy. Like, almost that the Grabber's not even, like, a scary presence to them either. The way that she, and really everyone, is able to just, like, overpower him so easily. And also, there's, like, two other characters in here, Barb, and I already forgot the dude's name, but Barb and this other guy are also working at the camp. And the Grabber, while he may appear in Gwen's dreams, he can also just... I mean,
let's be real, the average Grabber is probably built like nuts, so, you know.
And he's skating around the ice, and he, like, hits them with an axe and kind of, like, fucks with them a little bit, but he can't even kill them.
That's crazy.
Who don't even know where he is or anything. Like, even the people that can't see him are able to just blast him. Like, Finn eventually gets the upper hand on him while completely invisible. Finn cannot see him, and Finn is just bashing his skull into the ice. And everyone's just, like, mocking him and insulting him, like, oh, Bill, yeah, you're going right back to hell. It just makes him feel like almost a joke, you know? Like, it doesn't, he doesn't feel scary or anything. That everything in the first film that was built up for this guy, all of the mystery and how fucked up he was and how unnerving all of it was, when Finn does kill him in that movie, it felt like such a crazy triumph, you know, that all the pieces came together with everything that the kids on the phone were telling him, all of it he had to use to beat this guy. In this movie,
when was the first one released? Released in 2021. Well, I can tell you why this one was worse, because it was probably written with AI. That was probably the reason. I'm not gonna lie, the only thing this movie had going for it, this second one, is probably the fact that they reused the mask. You know, got at least some sense of horror in there. Because it really does just sound like a comedy.
That she's in a dream, she can start to control things, so she fucking ragdolls this guy. And then Finn, once he, like, sees where he is on the ice, because he got tripped, Finn just goes over and just absolutely just slaughters him, like, easily. Which, granted, that was, like, a core piece of what they were doing, is trying to free the souls of those 3 children that were the victims of the Grabber, that never, their bodies were never found. By freeing them, it would take away some of his power, so it made him more vulnerable. But a couple of things here. One, he was already being overpowered, like in the kitchen where he was going to, like, burn Gwen to death. 2 people were able to just rip Gwen away from the Grabber, and then he just vanishes after she wakes up. And 2, when she falls asleep and it spawns the Grabber, he is present in the physical reality. That is clearly established, especially like at the end of the movie where all the other characters can see where he is skating because it is leaving marks. And then, of course, he, like, hits him with the axe, even drags that guy around with the axe. He is there in the physical world once she falls asleep. Why would he even let them get near that lake? All he would have to do is the second she falls asleep, he would then go and just kill everybody else so they can't even investigate the lake to find the bodies and take away his power. I don't know why he wouldn't just do that. Instead, he would rather, like, monologue to Gwen and, like, show her the truth about her mother. Instead of... And he did make a point of saying, like, you're trying to take my power, which gives me every right to defend it. Like, he does defend it, but only after they, like, are uncovering a body. Even though he clearly wants to defend it, but has done nothing to do so until it's, like, way too late. I don't really get why he wouldn't just stop them from ever getting to the lake in the first place. Like, it's not like Gwen kept him at bay or anything. When she would fall asleep, that is when he would spawn in.
I just realized I forgot to turn that stuff back on.
And he is there in the physical reality, just invisible. He could have just killed everybody before they ever even got to the lake.
Well, obviously, he's too stupid for that.
It just seems to me like he's pretty shitty at what he was trying to do. But I just really feel like everything that made Black Phone 1 good, everything that worked really well for Black Phone 1, is just abandoned in the sequel.
Okay,
but it's not
there we
a
go.
bad
Should be
movie. Like, it is still an entertaining
now.
Film. I think there are going to be a lot of people that go to this and enjoy it. I'm not really one of them.
Oh, wait, shit, it was Frozen.
Fine, but after
they put something
seeing
above
Black
it.
Phone 1 literally an hour and a half before this one, it is just night and day in terms of quality of these films. Anyway, though, I really hope this trend of forcing a sequel to movies that don't really have a lot of wiggle room for it, I hope that trend starts to
Yeah, like you literally
dwindle
killed
soon.
the guy, bro.
Because I'm pretty tired of it now. This is the third one in only 4 months. Anyway, that's really about it. So yeah.
Like it would make sense if he just smacked him over the head and then he like fell to the ground but was like still conscious or something and the kid just ran out the building, but he straight up killed him. Like once you kill your fucking villain, it's kind of just GG's. You gotta end it there, unless you do like Scream and you just bring them back as different people, copycat killers. Except Scream has one big advantage there. They don't fucking talk. They have the same person do the phone call voice, and they just never. And are they also completely covered, so you never see their face until the end. It's like a mix between a slasher and like this with a voice changer. Well, that's what I'm saying is that the actual like them themselves don't talk. Like they keep the killer's identity secret. It's like an investigative slasher. I don't know. Like basically a fucking Murder, She Wrote episode. Which works, especially since they have the trend of having 2 killers. Like if they only had 1 killer, it'd be really fucking obvious to figure out who it is. Who's just not there all the time. Oh, well, it's gotta be that guy. But since they have 2, since the start, they have the ability to work around that, to try to confuse you and then actually make it surprising. Also making full-on plans to get away with it as well. That as well.
We're finally at that point where I am. We're finally at that point where I am too old to understand certain trends. And the cracks started to show a few years back with the E meme. Took me a long time to really grasp the concept of E. And now it's morphed into 6-7. That's the new big one. So I brought.
Well, see, yeah, E wasn't big because E was big because of Lord Marquand. Yeah, Lord Marquand made E big. That's what really made E big. 6-7, on the other hand, like you actually have to be brain dead. I'm not gonna lie. Like you have to have some issues up there. Dropped on your head maybe a few too many times. Especially when you still go along with it. Bro's doing another crypto scam as we speak. Like, how does a kid, a literal fucking child, rug pull you? And then you're stupid enough to go back in for round 2? Like, it is crazy, bro.
Brushed up on my studies to learn the etymology of 6-7 and understand it. I had heard about it, some whispers of it during streams where people would make a reference to it and giggle to themselves, and I asked what it was. People would explain it as like derivative of that SpongeBob episode with SpongeBob and Patrick in class and they're laughing about 25, that kind of thing. But as it got...
Well, see, that's like historical. The kid didn't even invent 6-7, bro. It came from another fucking YouTuber like years before.
Bigger and bigger, I started to learn through context clues that wasn't exactly it. So I looked it up, and it's apparently a kid at like a sporting game just said like 6-7 and then did this. And
Not even that.
It caught fire recently. Anyway, they say the greatest fear is fear of the unknown, and now that I know 6-7, I don't have to be afraid any longer. Instead, now I can just properly cringe at it. I saw a pretty interesting clip today featuring beloved 6-7 references, and I wanted to share it with all of you because holy fuck, it is a painful watch. Fair warning, it's only coming through on the right channel of the audio.
Oh no, that's left channel actually.
New play caller in town. The offense is looking. 1 second. The offense is looking a lot more versatile. They're getting their tight end in there with more reps. Still seem really
Wow,
characteristic.
these fucking cringe motherfuckers really want to be famous so bad, huh? Holy shit. You know you're gonna get her fired, right? Like, there's a pretty good chance you're gonna get her fired. But of course, you're literal like 2 seconds, probably not even 2 seconds. You're like one Charlie video worth of fame, which isn't even fame. It's everyone laughing at you is apparently worth it.
I've definitely seen a lot more passes from Malik Murphy to Trent Walker, and I think even though the game is tied, the offense has looked entirely different, and we'll see how it goes.
Oh, yikes. Yucky.
I'm more surprised that they didn't just call
couldn't do
security and get them
anything
kicked
to mix
out.
the audio together so you could hear it in both channels. I believe that this was just such a miserable thing that videos weren't even meant to capture, that it actually fucking cringed the technology itself and did everything it could in like a self-defense mechanism to try and like spare at least one eardrum here.
Well, actually, what happened was they recorded mono. But the problem is, when you record in mono, you have to set it to go on both channels because it's one channel, and there's 2 channels in stereo. So it'll default to one channel, which is the left channel generally. Or I guess, theoretically, whatever channel... Actually, that would make sense why he thought it was right. It'll either default to the left channel or whatever channel it connects to first. So in my case, and general case, it'll be the left speaker first, because wires generally go to the left first. So... it'll just default to the first channel, and then it won't go to any other channel, because there's no other channel to send. There's only one channel to send, and that one channel got picked up, so it doesn't send any more channels, because there's only one channel. Who could have guessed? You can, however, also, there is the case where you can make a stereo signal mono. Generally, there's no reason to do that. I mean... music is like the only thing I could ever think of. I don't think there's any reason to make anything else mono unless you have like hearing problems, in which case you might need a mono channel from a stereo. But it can definitely be done. Here, let me just open this. This is nothing. Don't bother. Don't pay attention to it. It's just demonstration purposes. What's a good sound to use? Well, we'll just use this one. There you go. Obviously very stereo. And we can just take a utility, and we can just click the mono button, and what it does is it takes one channel, and it, or not one channel, technically it takes both channels, and it combines them. And then it duplicates it to the sides. Just basically merging 2 channels into one, but sending it to both channels anyways. In the case of what's happening here, it was mono by default, so you just pretend that this was never stereo. Just pretend it's only one channel, it doesn't exist. The other one's fake. And what it did was it just sent it to the first channel that it went to access, and there you go. There's no second channel, so it's not going to send it to a second channel. And the reason I'm explaining it like that is because I'm not going to go find a fucking mono audio sample to do it. That's too much work. There is ways to make stereo things more stereo. There's not really any way to make a mono thing stereo. If it's mono, you can kind of like quote unquote add stereo, but it's not actually anything. There is no stereo image to it. If it's truly mono, you can't do anything. You can duplicate it, maybe offset the phase a little bit, spread it out. That's about it.
From having to hear this maniac screaming 6-7 at the top of his lungs. So it's pretty clear the group is inebriated. And there's definitely worse, more destructive, more...
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, except they look young as hell. This motherfucker looks like he's barely old enough to be in middle school. I'm not gonna lie.
The totem pole of degeneracy is inebriated. And there's definitely worse, more destructive, more annoying things that drunk people have done on camera. So on the totem pole of degeneracy, this is kind of low. But I gotta tell you, sports fans, there is something particularly embarrassing, something special about the Goob Squad rolling up here with Even Stevens shouting 6-7 at the top of his lungs like it's his war cry, like the last thing he's going to be able to get out on the battlefield. It's just so embarrassing. It is so ass that it's able to elicit an actual fight or flight response just watching this video. Like, again, I only just recently learned the origins of this in the first place, and now seeing it in the state it is here, with adults spamming it like Fortnite emotes in the background of a camera, it just really makes you think. You had the guy looking right
Spamming it
down the
like
pipe,
Fortnite
straight
emote.
down the barrel of the camera there, all of his friends getting in on the action, doing this kind of thing. It is an actual symphony of agony. Like, everything that could be awful about a clip is awful here. A reporter just trying to do her job, getting yelled at like 2 feet behind her, ear-piercing screeches from this guy whose voice keeps cracking under the desperate weight of his need to be the center of attention by saying popular emote, popular meme. It's just, it's all a masterpiece of disaster.
Through the second half of this game.
Stop! 22 years old, by the way. Look at them.
I bet you thought the clip was done, huh? I pulled the wool over your eyes. No, it actually went on for far longer, unfortunately. I don't know what the broadcast was. I don't know why it sits on this shot for so long, like why she is forced to stand there in the middle of this miasma of cringe. But my god, my heart breaks for her, because holy shit, every facet of this is awful. From the clear protagonist 6'7" guy who is so pleased with his joke he even starts recording it himself from his own POV, to his sidekick, his lackey friend who comes in to try and do his own thing with another meme screaming help and then doing this. No one seems to care about that, not even their friends are laughing at that one, so that's a fucking dud. That falls flat, then he gets full of shame, turns around and leaves, and then somehow one of their other friends is on the floor laughing, tickling his belly like he's going Gear 5 Luffy here. He's just over there laughing so hard, tickling himself because this is so hilarious. And then the one guy who stuck his face in the camera is starting to have a come to Jesus moment where he's like, okay, stop. This guy's 22 years old, by the way. Like, everything here is just perfect from the perspective of agony, like misery on camera. It reminds me of that fucker right in the pussy thing from many moons ago, but at least that had the wherewithal to be short and not like drone on endlessly for so long, and it was self-contained. You didn't need like tidbits of lore from outside of it. Like, you didn't, it's not like a Marvel movie where you have to watch like 20 movies or 20 shows to know what's going on in the movie. 6'7", you hear that and you have no idea what it is until you look it up and like connect the dots, follow the breadcrumbs. At least fucker right in the pussy, you knew exactly what that was saying, what that was about, and it was like a flash of lightning, just super quick. One sentence, and then everyone parts ways. They give the mic back, at least in all the ones I saw, and that was that. This, on the other hand, goes on for over a minute. It is a slobber knocker. It overstays its welcome immediately and then stays planted there for another minute longer of just constant 6'7". It is brutal. Anyway, just wanted to share that. That's really about it. See ya.
Bro is streaming. Oh my god.
There's always been a debate on what is the stupidest crime you could ever commit, but I don't really think it.
Oh my god, it paused. Oh my god, it won't unpause now.
It's that much of a debate. I think there is an objectively right answer. Pokemon card-related crimes. And they are so common these days, with people ruining their lives because they cannot help but try and steal Pokemon cards to resell them. It's almost dangerous to have Pokemon product on hand because it feels like it's just a matter of time before the greasiest loser you could ever imagine tries to break into your business.
You know what I should do? Oh my god, you know what everyone should do? We should get there before the scalpers, buy the Pokemon cards, put them in the cart, and then just stand with our cart there in the middle of the store. That way when they take it out of the cart, it's theft. Holy shit. Big brain.
To get their grubby paws on it. It's like dropping Tilted Towers in Fortnite back during Fortnite's heyday. It's just completely out of control. And it is only getting worse. This is spreading faster than fucking Gangnam Style in 2012. There is literally, like every single day, there is someone breaking into a card shop to steal thousands
How's that doing these days? How's that doing these days? 5.7 billion? Damn. Honestly, kind of sad to see that Sai, like, fell off after a few tracks. He had, like, 4 really big tracks, and then it was just kind of, G-cheese after that.
dollars worth of Pokemon cards. And I've covered a lot of it, but I haven't in a little while, and it's not because it's started to die down or simmer down or anything. In fact, quite the opposite. I just haven't been covering it as much because it is just fucking pathetic, the state of the hobby right now, and there is so little more to be said about it. It sucks. But today I saw one that made me want to dust off this topic again because I think it is the perfect example to showcase just how extreme it's gotten.
Sad news at RNG Therapy. We experienced a break-in at 5:45 Tuesday morning. 2 people, a male and a female, rammed into our shop with a U-Haul and took some stuff. It's gut-wrenching.
Wow, they have to be really fucking stupid, don't they? You have to show ID to rent a U-Haul? They have to verify your ID. And then they know which U-Haul you took. Yikes. Wow, you are beyond stupid. You'd be better doing it with your own car than you are a U-Haul.
So yeah,
Jesus.
just an update. Watch the video. Check it out.
Oh, they are very identifiable. They barely covered the... Hey, fun fact. Yeah, the eyes are the most identifiable part, generally. If you had to wear one of these masks to commit a crime, put it up here instead. Can you speak into the mic like that more? No. It is reserved for funny moment.
This couple rented a U-Haul seemingly with the sole purpose to ram it through the garage door of this card shop so they could steal Pokemon cards and then make a quick getaway. There's so much to unpack with that. They rented a vehicle to commit a crime. I feel like it probably won't be that hard to find who they are. Assuming they had to provide some identification and payment information to even get the U-Haul in the first place. God willing, hopefully they don't get away with it. This is a level of insanity that dwarfs even some of the most absurd that I'd seen prior. They rented a U-Haul to crash it through this building to steal Pokemon cards. Holy shit. Also, they're just like manhandling the Pokemon cards. They're doing it au naturel, the way our forefathers used to steal Pokemon cards. They're not even using bags or anything. They're literally just grabbing like 2 fistfuls and walking it back and forth. Like they didn't even bring like bags or something to do it more efficiently. They are that fucking stupid. You are witnessing actual Neanderthal mode. You are seeing laid bare in front of you the dumbest society can provide you with. Holy shit. And you get a pretty good look at this girl's face, one of the perpetrators here. I'm hoping these 2 turbo idiots get caught pretty soon. I'm pretty optimistic that they will. It feels like there's a lot of information that you could probably get from the vehicle they rented here for it. Plus, you also have pretty solid surveillance footage of what they look like. Hopefully they will get caught. Now, the reason I wanted to yap about this is because of just how over the top it is. They fucking crash a truck through this card shop to get the Pokemon cards. In almost every other card shop break-in and robbery I've seen, they just bash the glass in. They'll hit it with a brick, a hammer, something. They just walk in and start breaking all the glass in order to steal the cards. But here, there's no glass for them to break through. It's a fucking garage door. It's a huge garage door. You would think that would be more difficult and like a deterrent from people breaking in.
Garage
But
doors
no,
are actually really weak.
These morons still find a way. Like, you are just not safe. If you have Pokemon cards, somehow these vermin will sniff it out, and come hell or high water, they will fucking bust through those walls like the Kool-Aid Man. It is shocking. They crashed a U-Haul through this garage door to get to these Pokemon cards. Next, like, you're gonna have to start putting your Pokemon cards at Fort Knox, but even then, idiots like this will probably still find a way to try and gain access. It'll be like Wile E. Coyote. They'll get the Acme Dynamite out and the plunger and try and like blow it up to get in. It's just so sad, the state of this hobby. And I feel terrible for this business. Like, I would have thought, given the location of this business being, you know, pretty secure behind a garage door and everything, that they were likely going to be safe and be able to provide a nice little hangout card shop spot for their community. But no, still no. They crashed the car through it. Now, I watched some of the updates here from their Instagram page. They have replaced the garage door, which is not cheap, mind you, and they are trying to, you know, keep their heads held high, moving forward into the future here. So they are back open for business, which is great. They were only down for a little while here after this. But it just sucks to see this, man. Like, I just feel so bad. It's not like these card shops are rolling in money. Like, it's not like these businesses are just raking in millions and millions of dollars. And yet they are just getting absolutely pillaged. Like the fucking Vikings are running through here and just dismantling their inventory of Pokemon cards. It's just dangerous. It's sad. It's fucking sad. And like I said, this is very, very, very common now. Like, when I was looking for this to try and find it on my own, an unrelated story of 3 separate break-ins all in like a week came up. And like I mentioned, it's the standard song and dance that a lot of these robbers like to do, where they just bust in the glass of these card shops and then just start breaking everything to get to them.
In and out in 30 seconds. That's all it took for this thief to make off with about $6,000 worth of Pokemon cards.
They smashed our showcase, so they knew where they were going.
On top of the
Like I said, that's typically how it goes. They come in, break the glass. In the rest of this news segment here, they interview a couple of other shops that experienced very similar break-ins, losing thousands of dollars worth of product. And typically, it's just a big old, in one of them, it was just a big old piece of concrete. They broke the glass and then kicked in the rest of it and then just walked in, stole the shit, breaking the shit. It's awful. It's just awful. It is so shameful. And it is showing no signs of slowing down. Like, you're not even safe if you are behind a garage door. A reinforced door is not safe because you never know when the dumbest couple on the planet's gonna rent a goddamn bull.
I saw this post. I found the image already. Someone said, in reference to that, they said, this is their security. Which actually, yes. How do you lose the fucking crown of France, bro?
Bulldozer and just blast through it. It's just despicable. I am so tired of the degeneracy in the Pokemon card community. Jiminy Christmas. And like I've said from the very beginning, even if you do steal all of these Pokemon products, they're not easy to resell. You're not going to make a huge killing selling the couple of $1,000s worth of Pokemon product that you lifted from these local card shops. Like, it's not going to sell immediately, even if you do mark it down significantly. And a lot of people in the community are always aware of what's been stolen, so many times what's happened in the past is people that have stolen it have been caught when they've tried to resell it because people know, and they don't want to have that hot potato of stolen product. Like, it's just so fucking dumb across the board from these idiots, these absolute losers that are stealing all of these TCG products. It's so fucking dumb. Anyway, though, just wanted to yap about this again. That's really about it. So, yeah.
Hope this ages horribly.
I'm
Me?
making this video with the hope that I am extremely wrong here, and in a few weeks we can all look back and point and laugh at how off I was. Like, I want this video to age
About One Punch
horribly,
Man.
but with my hand on a stack of Bibles, I don't think it will. One Punch Man Season 3 has started.
3 is
2
trash.
episodes are out. The second one just aired.
Oh yeah, the like the animation of the guy floating down the hill, and someone was like, even I can do that animation. They just took a PNG and just drug it across the screen.
You can probably still see my eyes are a bit red from the tears that I shed watching it and rubbing them away. Not because I witnessed peak, but because I witnessed pee. Actual waste. One Punch Man is one of my favorite property. I've watched it weekly since season 1, and it's one of the very few anime that actually got me interested in reading the manga. I've talked about this before, but I typically don't read manga of property that already has an anime adaptation because I'd rather not know what's coming. I'd rather it be a surprise. Even though I typically don't mind if I get spoilers or whatever, because for me it's more about the journey than the destination. But still, I prefer to be surprised when it
Break my back
happens,
with a brick.
oohing and
Why?
awing and kicking my little legs in my chair when there's a big plot twist or something that unfolds. But One Punch Man is just so juicy to me. I love the world. I love its whimsical, wacky characters, and it is so full of spectacle. The fights are extraordinary in a beautiful manga. And I even really like in One's webcomics the way that he portrays things in there. I love everything about One Punch Man. It is a beautiful manga that I can't help but sink my teeth into, even knowing full well it will spoil what comes up in the anime. I can't resist. And like I said, it's very uncharacteristic of me to do that. Typically the manga I read is on things that don't have real anime adaptations, like Berserk. Lord help us. It is so sad. Bit of a tangent. Berserk is an actual masterpiece of a series, which I'm sure all of you have heard before. People gushing grannies over Berserk for a good reason. It is a sin that it doesn't get a true, real anime adaptation past what they already did in the 90s. What happened in 2016, which we don't need to reopen old wounds there, but I don't want to get too lost in the sauce. Point is, I don't typically read manga for things that have an anime. One Punch Man is the exception because I absolutely love the characters and the world there. Anyway though, One Punch Man Season 1 I think is one of the best seasons of anime ever produced. And throughout streams people will often ask, I've never checked out anime, what should I start with? And like clockwork, I will always recommend One Punch Man Season 1 as an entry point to the medium. I think it is just so well done. From its pacing to its beautiful, breathtaking animation, unbelievable animation, the fights are incredible, but also just the character work is executed so well in Season 1. It is extremely good. It is extraordinary. And Season 2 rolled around, and it was a bit of a wet fart. That one was very disappointing to me, and I know a lot of people don't like my take on it, but I mean, it's how I feel about it. I think it is just such a huge step down, not only in the obvious decline in animation quality. It's a different studio. It's JC staff that took it over, which doesn't typically do something like One Punch Man, and they did not a great job. Season 2 did not have the greatest animation. It was no longer fluid. It had some really wonky CG in there, and it just wasn't as great as Season 1. It still had its moments because the characters are just so well done, like from the source material. It's hard to fuck that up, but man, did they try. It was still a fine season, but just such a huge step back. So when it was announced that Season 3 of One Punch Man was once again going to be that same studio, I was immediately sad, but I tried to remain optimistic that maybe this time, given more time to cook, they could deliver something better. And now that we're 2 episodes in, they're delivering something even worse. It is actually even worse. Season 2 got dubbed by the fans One Frame Man because there's so little animation. A lot of the times you're watching still images, basically just manga panels and a PowerPoint. Season 3 is even worse so far. I shit you not, in the latest episode, episode 2, there is 2 separate scenes where it is a still image with the slowest panning camera imaginable. I actually thought my TV froze. And it goes on for like 20 seconds. Like, it lingers for 20 seconds on just a still frame and some like narrator dialogue. And it's just inexcusable. How can something as good as the One Punch Man property get this treatment? It's incomprehensible to me. It's just insulting, especially considering some of like the most slop trash manga is getting beautiful anime adaptations. Like these actual nothing burger properties you've never heard of that are just actual garbage, bottom of the barrel slop, like last winter the Wizard Lord transmogrified me into a paperclip and whisked me away to Vampireville, where all of these vampire babes shoved me up their ass and tasked me with defeating the Demon Lord. And it's like, who even knows what that is? And then the anime rolls out and it's breathtaking. Like, why does that kind of garbage get that kind of passionate studio treatment, but something like One Punch Man, beloved, gets JC staff spitting in our face? I don't understand it. Now, I want to mention, I don't think they're doing it on purpose. I just don't think this is the kind of studio that can do One Punch Man justice. They already proved they couldn't with Season 2, yet they're hopping back on the saddle again with Season 3 just to prove people even more right that they just can't do it. So why did they even get this work again? It doesn't make sense. These 2 episodes have been abominable. Like, they are not good. Even outside of the obvious lack of animation, if you watch Season 3 of One Punch Man, you've probably noticed that there's pretty much no movement happening in this show. To call it an animation is being really loosey-goosey with the term. You're looking at pictures mainly, with dialogue. You're not really seeing anything move. Now, in the last episode here, at the very end, it's gearing up for a fight. And there is a little bit of movement at the very end there. Which is why I'm making this video now, because I believe that in the next episode it's going to follow the Season 2 formula where that fight is mainly going to be impact frames and camera pan, but not actual action or animation. But I'm really, really praying, fingers crossed, I am wrong with that. In this episode, I shit you not, there is even a scene where Garo, when he's going down a hill to break up these bullies from picking on this kid, they didn't bother to animate anything there. So to have him go down the hill, they took Garo, that still image of Garo, and just moved it down. Literally panned him down with no animation at all. It is so janky. It is so gross looking. Now, I've read a lot of conflicting things about why this is in the state that it is. Apparently, like, there was a bunch of back and forth on who was going to get Season 3, and it ultimately ended up in the hands of JC staff, but it took like a prolonged period of time, so they didn't have a lot of time to get in the laboratory and work on something of high quality here, so this is what they shot out. I don't really think that's an excuse, to be honest. Like, something needs to change in that case where scheduling is better, or like extend the deadline instead of just like pump out whatever just to, you know, slap it on screen and ship it when it's clearly not in a state for that. This looks so undercooked. It is just half-baked. And to be honest, at this point, I'm not even sure if my anger is misplaced on JC staff or if it really is just like Bandai refusing to invest real money behind this project because maybe they're just so content with mediocrity. They know this IP is so popular, people will watch it no matter what. So what's the point in delivering something special? Like, I think that's equally possible as well. Like, maybe they're more to blame than JC staff. Like, maybe they just weren't given enough time or enough resources to make something good. I'm not really sure, but it is just tragic. And I don't think Season 3 is going to get better. I actually think it's only going to get worse with the fights based on these first 2 episodes. But again, I'm making this video hoping that I'm wrong, and it could be something that we look back on and be like, wow, Charlie's no Baba Vanga here. Look at this prediction being super fucking wrong. Well, in that case, it'd make me exactly like Baba Vanga, to be honest. But point is, I'm hoping that all of this is just water under the bridge over the next few weeks as Season 3 of One Punch Man continues, and maybe it gets incredible and it just goes ballistic. Maybe they just wanted the first 2 episodes to look like shit as part of a, you know, galaxy brain plot to make people think it's going to be a bad season, but really it's going to be the best season. It's hard copium from me here, but whatever. What happened to the show I love, man? To see where One Punch Man Season 1 was to where this is now, a decade later. It's been a decade, by the way, and this is only the 3rd season, and it looks this bad. It's just infuriating. It really is. Anyway, though, can't wait for episode 3 here of One Punch Man Season 3. Maybe that's the one where it's gonna really get it together. That's when it all comes together. Anyway, just wanted to yap about this. That's it. See ya.
Oh my god. I'm going to go eat. I will be back in a little bit. Shouldn't be gone too long. I am back. Guess I had a big, beautiful night sleep. Next night we'll be working. Have a good night. Catch you later. If you are somehow still here, good night. Hope you eat well. Hey, yo, my own live is right here. What the fuck? South Park's brain rot is terminal. The disturbing Discord mod gets worse. Sears free and Time when Sears sold Boodle like free on their website. Apparently had no idea, but 4chan found out about it. Oh boy. I'm not gonna watch it. I just want to see the description. Meta PCs, of course. No idea where the audio cut out, so I cut this segment out. Oh, Schlatt is so good at this? Oh no. Kids entertainment made by cults? So you mean like literally 90% of the stuff produced? The worst $99 game, all of them. None of them should be that much. Oh, we're just getting into almost nothing. Today's Wordle almost got me, yeah? The hell is this?
Almost 3 years ago now, I made a couple videos talking about a YouTuber whose house had been firebombed. The YouTuber's name is Friendly Jordies, and he was very outspoken about corruption, calling out bad actors in the local government, and for all of this, his house was targeted in a firebombing. And actually, the fucking stooge that was in charge of this, the mysterious boogeyman, actually went for the double scoop on the firebombing. So they started by firebombing Friendly Jordy's neighbor, thinking that it was his house. Then when they realized they got the wrong house, he came back to firebomb Friendly Jordy's house. And luckily, no one died in this, but the intention was pretty clear, either to scare or kill Friendly Jordy's. And now, almost 3 years later, there is someone who has been arrested for this.
Some not-so-breaking news. One of the guys that firebombed my house back in 2022 has been sentenced to 5 years in prison. Now, I'm grateful to the judge, the arson squad, and the financial crimes unit for all their hard work in securing this little bit of justice. That was a Herculean slog for the investigators to get it to that point at all, but this is hardly a definite end to this saga, and there are a few things that really need to be said in wake of this conviction.
The man who was arrested and now facing 5 years in the slammer is an associate of a well-known crime family in the area. His name is Tuffy, or Toofy, Goofy, whatever the fuck it is, however you say his name. He's 39 years old, and they're describing it as a professional attack on a journalist. But don't worry, he's not a monster. He has a lot of remorse here. He feels really bad about it. He even made an apology video for it. So he is clearly feeling a lot of sorrow for his misdeeds, no doubt. In a video he sent from prison, he said, "I would just like to apologize from the bottom of my heart." Aww. Alright. Not guilty. Free this man. He clearly feels bad about firebombing 2 people's homes.
He felt so bad about it when he found out he had the wrong house. He went back to do it again.
That is a touching sentiment. He went on to say that he believed in God and said he was over his life of crime after spending so much of his 20s and 30s behind bars. Quote, "I'd rather die than return back to jail," he said. He's turning a new leaf. You can clearly see it here. I mean, it's just an honest mistake. Who hasn't accidentally firebombed 2 people's homes after being paid to throw those firebombs in the first place? It could happen to anybody. And this is a guy who clearly recognizes that these evil deeds are best left in the past. And it's crazy that he's only getting 5 years, by the way. He is a career criminal, and he's still getting 5 years after firebombing 2 people's homes, which is literally like attempted murder. At least it should be. That was the whole goal. At least one of the goals, either to have Friendly Jordy's fear for his life or take his life here in the firebombing attack. It's just crazy that he's only getting 5 years. Maybe that apology really did weigh heavy on the heart of the judge.
The person convicted of the firebombing is a man by the name of Tufi Jr. Tuisi Alua. I don't know if I'm saying that name correctly, and frankly, I don't care. I've never met Tufi Jr. I've never mentioned him in videos before. In fact, before he was charged, I'd never even heard of his name, nor do I hope to hear it ever again. It does, however, open a big question, a question which was not satisfactorily answered in court, and perhaps even more shamefully, not examined by most of the media. Why would a man with no connection to me whatsoever go to the effort of stealing a Mercedes, cloning number plates, surveilling my house, and then setting that house on fire?
As Friendly Jordy's points out here, it's very interesting that the judge recognizes this as a professional attack, a coordinated attack here on Friendly Jordy's. They even call him the Muscle. That's what he was hired to do. Yet, at no point do they try and inquire as to who hired him and why. What were his motives? Why would someone whom Jordy has never heard of, never mentioned at all, go through so much effort to firebomb his fucking house? That's awfully strange, right? Isn't that a little weird?
Huh?
They fully recognize that this was a paid, planned attack on Friendly Jordy's, yet don't bother to try and uncover who planned and paid for this attack. It wasn't just some random act of violence where this guy just had 2 firebombs sitting on his passenger seat from, last Halloween where he went his, the pyro from TF2 or something, and he decided, all right, I'll just throw these 2 firebombs over here. This was clearly a planned attack, and they recognize that, yet don't even give the slightest smidgen of effort to try and figure out who's behind it. That definitely smells a bit fishy.
I think I know the answer. I'd wager some prominent defamation lawyers, property developers, and politicians also know the answer. There were some unsurprisingly cowardly and oblique hints of an answer in the ABC article about the conviction, an article which refers to me as an internet personality. Mr. Shanks, who uses the moniker Friendly Jordy's online, had mentioned the Alameddine Crime Network in a video 2 months before his home was set alight. Just mention the Alameddines. A lot of people mention the Alameddines, Anton. The Alameddine Crime Network might be one of the most prolific gangs in this nation's history. They're nightly news. Some people bank their entire journalistic careers on talking about the Alameddines. They don't get their houses burnt down. How characteristically low from the ABC, especially when even the judge labelled the firebombing as, quote, a professional attack on a journalist. Anton here acts as if it was a coincidence after reading out a BuzzFeed article on a stream.
I found this fascinating. What Jordy's is mentioning here is that some journalists, like the one he's pointing out, are making the insinuation that because Jordy's has mentioned the Alameddine crime family before, prior to his house being set ablaze, that maybe it's not a coinkydink. Maybe the two are related. But Jordy's hits him with the counterpoint here. He gets him with the Uno reverse with some very basic logic that the Alameddine crime family is one of the most infamous in the area, talked about daily as a piece of nightly news where tons of journalists make their whole career solely around reporting on the Al-Madeen crime family. And yet none of them seem to be getting fucking napalm striked here like Jordy's was. So it's a pretty weak insinuation to make that doesn't pass the smell test. Especially because it's not like that's all Friendly Jordy's talks about is the Al-Madeen crime family or anything like that.
This is not at all to excuse Toofy Jr. He tried to kill someone. He burnt down a house with no regard for not only the other potential occupants, but neighbours, which were the elderly, and for all he knew, could have been children. Even worse, because his motives are murky and seemingly transactional, he seems to have just been waved away with he was just the hired muscle. He tried to kill people. He burnt down a house. Things are a little bit scary in New South Wales if you ask me. At this point, you can order a firebombing, not only not get caught, but the muscle who does get caught gets about the same time as it takes to do a bachelor's degree.
The guy responsible for double-fisting firebombs that could have killed multiple people is getting an extremely light, soft sentence of just 5 years, which is basically just the amount of time between Stranger Things seasons. And not only is he getting a light sentence, but the people that hired him, that they openly are saying that he was the muscle. So they recognize he was the muscle for someone, but the people that he is the muscle for, they're not even bothering to try and investigate and find out the identity of. They're just like, oh yeah, he was the muscle, and that's it. We know that's as far as we're gonna go. It's just so blatant. It's so obvious. It's so fucked.
Pretty good risk to reward ratio, if you ask me. Over the past few years, I've faced multiple different criminal investigations and charges over what apparently in New South Wales is a far more serious crime, making YouTube videos. I don't think it's hyperbole to say that there were far more investigative and legal resources thrown at botched attempts to punish me than there were at punishing the firebombers.
If you followed Friendly Jordy's at all for any length of time, you are probably familiar with the fucking ringer they have put this man through over the years. The justice system over there is trying so hard to bend them over their knee and spank his cheeks red every chance they get for even the slightest things. They will go to extremes for him, all because he posts videos online talking about corruption. Meanwhile, a firebomber who firebombed 2 houses, a career criminal as well, by the way, so he has a history too, gets significantly less resources put into that investigation. It's fucking crazy.
How can a man be charged and sentenced to 5 years in prison for a firebombing and the courts get to know nothing about his motives?
No, they know everything that needs to be known about his motive. He was hired to do it. He was the muscle. Hired by who? Cares. Who cares? They don't give a fuck. Just gonna send him to jail for just a little brief period of time here and just let this whole thing quietly die down so that way people don't ask too many questions about this whole firebombing, hoopla, that kind of thing. Because there's no need to dig any deeper on who might have paid for this kind of thing to happen. You know, it's just, he was the muscle. Ah, come on, let's move on.
Why certain politicians like Rose Jackson, who originally condemned the firebombing, albeit in the most performative Twitter-approved template, that not only was mostly about her and how awesome she thinks she is, she also just had to add, right after I was nearly killed, that I'm, quote, way off and gross. I'll tell you what I think is way off, Rose. Hanging out with and propping up a development company which, again, shares the name of the video I was forced to remove due to death threats, and doing so knowingly. You know. That's what I think is gross, you self-aggrandizing transactional party machine cog.
Yeah, over there, Jordy's has got a lot of very powerful enemies. I've made a couple videos talking about Jordy's and everything that has gone on recently. It is not an overstatement to say that he literally does put his life on the line for the journalism that he does. And it's not just him, he does have a team as well that takes the same risk. They have some very powerful enemies over there. And it is very clear that they are willing to go to extreme lengths to silence Jordy's and his team. Keep in mind, the firebombing attack, they didn't know Jordy's wasn't home. They had no idea. They also didn't know about the neighbors' whereabouts if they were home. That very well could have ended with bodies, just corpses, charred corpses from this hired muscle coming out and firebombing these 2 houses, all to silence Jordy's and his team for their reporting on the blatant corruption over there.
Why do the Al-Madeen's, an organised crime gang, give so much access to certain ABC journalists? Why is the ABC so ardent in defending these certain journalists? And why isn't anyone able to get enough evidence to bring whoever ordered the firebombing into a courtroom? I'll tell you, there's some very strange things happening in New South Wales.
Very strange things indeed going on over there. I'm happy to at least see that someone was arrested in connection to the firebombing. That's good. 5 years is kind of laughable considering the crime. But I mean, I guess at least there was some semblance of, like, you know, catching the bad guys here to a certain extent. But there is a lot of work to be done. I feel like there was definitely a lot more that should have come from this. And hopefully it will. Hopefully there will be more
they didn't just let him
that
go.
comes from this, God willing.
Just catch and release.
Because holy shit, it is actually... It is unhinged.
Actually terrible.
Anyways, wishing the best for Friendly Jordy's here. Hopefully he and his team can stay safe. And just wanted to give you the update. That's about it. So, yep. Almost.
Someone says 4 years for Diddy, 5 years for this goober. Do you see Trump is thinking about pardoning Diddy now too? Not buying Pokemon Zero Black Ops 7.
First things first, before I cannonball into the spaghetti and meatballs of today's topic, I'd like to let you all know I've been actively working on my Mickey Mouse impression, so please let me know your thoughts. Pluto! So with that out of the way, I'm going to show you all of my analytics from my lifetime of being on YouTube and almost a decade of being on Twitch.
Nice 1.3 mil. I think my total is like around 3,000 in 2 years. This account has 0 and will forever have 0.
Before I had a physical form, when I was just beginning my zygotic journey in my mother's womb, an anomalous mutation occurred, where what was supposed to be a normal human baby was fused with gamer DNA, and the two of us combined in a harmonious fusion dance, and now, just look at me. Take a good hard look at me.
I hate ads enough that I'll never turn them on, so I'll never be able to make that kind of money. No one will ever sub if there's no ads.
Throughout my 31 years on this earth, I have learned many important life lessons. Not every pee-pee time is a poo-poo time, but every poo-poo time is a pee-pee time.
Facts.
I've also
That's
learned
factual.
that it's just not worth it to force myself to play games I have no interest in. So, the new Pokemon game just dropped, Pokemon
Za. You make money.
Even before it released, I was skeptical on
unless you have like 20,000 average viewers, you're not making much from ads. Realistically, with 1,000 average, you'd probably make like $20 a day. Which, again, is not very much. You know, 20 times 30, kind of a little bit.
How good it would be, because everything they showed looked like somehow an even bigger step backwards for the franchise. But I'm always open to being wrong. I don't have a Nintendo Switch 2 and I have no plans on getting one, but Pokemon Za is on the OG Switch as well, so I decided to tune in to some streamers, watch some gameplay, and see what people are saying about it. And Santa Claus rolled around bearing gifts, people were very excited, but to me it looks like a big old lump of coal. This somehow looks worse than Pokemon Scarlet Violet. This shit looks like my wrinkly nutsack. It is crazy to me. Pokemon being the most profitable IP in the history of our species still doesn't do the bare minimum when it comes to its mainline game entries. I really cannot understand it. Now, if you're enjoying Pokemon ZA, don't let me come in here and fart, toot all over your fun, whatever. Enjoy it. I think that's totally fine. But for me, it has become so incredibly stale to the point that it's almost insulting the lack of care Game Freak puts into these games. Like, there is not only so little innovation I really gave a lot of charity to Arceus, Pokemon Legends Arceus, because it felt like they were going to start trying to push things and do different things. But since then, I just feel like they took their foot off the gas, and everything in Pokemon Legends ZA feels like it's content to just be the same shit, different toilet. So it's not for me, but if you're having fun with it, I think that's great. I'm happy that you're enjoying it and didn't like waste money on something that you ultimately don't like. I'm just giving you my perspective on it. It's a game that I'm very confident I would not enjoy, because it looks like the same fucking game I've now played a million times from Pokemon. It does not look like a game I would enjoy, thus I will be sitting it out. Something that I've been doing recently is abstaining from forcing myself to play a game just for the sake of playing the new game. And this, I can already tell I'm not going to enjoy, especially after playing Digimon Storytime Stranger. I'm going to directly compare these two things like it's the fucking late 90s again here. Digimon Storytime Stranger is the newest Digimon game that came out. And I played it on a whim, not really expecting much. I hadn't been like in the Digimon sphere for well over a decade. I loved Digimon growing up, but I was more of a Pokemon guy. Digimon I always thought had better writing and definitely was darker than Pokemon, but I had always, gravitated more towards the Pokemon IP. But I always appreciated it. And then as I got older, I just stopped paying attention to Digimon. Digimon Storytime Stranger dropped and it was getting a lot of glaze. People were really hyping it up, so I decided to give it a whirl. And the game is actually amazing. Like, this shit turbo slaps. I'm about 5 hours into the game, and I am still learning new mechanics. There is an unbelievable amount of depth min-maxing to this game with so much meat on its bones. And it is everything the Pokemon formula and franchise wishes it could be. And, well, really, what it should be, honestly. The game has voice acting.
You know the problem with Pokemon? It's become too big. It has become big to the point they know they could literally release a game that doesn't work. Like, it could just be a menu screen that you can't get past, and they know people would still pay money for it. Like, there would actually be motherfuckers out there who would hear the game doesn't work. It's just a menu screen, and they would still pay $70 for it. And they know that. So there is no point in making a good game because people will buy it regardless. That's kind of like indie games recently. Indie games have been like, majority seems they've been getting more attention than AAA studios. So indie games are just getting thrown out like left, right, and center. Someone will throw out an indie game, make a few $1 million from it, and then abandon it like a week later. And that's it. They don't give a shit anymore. Because they don't care about the players. They know they can just make a game, get it slightly popular, and it'll explode from there. It's what AAA companies used to do, but now indie devs are doing it. It is the formula that will forever work.
By the way, which is something Pokemon games still haven't quite cracked the code on all these years later. The writing is, like, strangely compelling. Like, it is actually pretty well written with a story that I find myself invested in. The cutscenes go fucking insano style. Within the first hour and a half, a hole tears in the space-time continuum, shattering the fabric of reality as a giant fucking Digimon fist comes through like the hand of God and punches a giant mecha machine, which blows us 8 years into the past. It is actually so hype. And there is, like I said, so much depth here. I think there's like 450, 460 Digimon
Honestly,
there.
I would say the stupidest thing,
even outside of just the number,
is the fact that they're allowed to copyright stuff that is like so fucking minuscule. Like, for instance, they couldn't copyright catching things in a sphere. That wasn't allowed. So they copyrighted catching things in a sphere with a RNG chance. Like, why the fuck are you allowed to do that? Or you can't ban, or not ban, fucking, why did I say ban? I guess I actually know why I would have, because it would have been the next part. But they couldn't copyright flying, or I guess flying on or with flying creatures. So instead, they copyrighted using them as gliders by holding onto their legs. It's actually so fucking cringe, bro. Every time they get told no, They just find a way to get told yes. And I guarantee the only reason is because the court gets so fucking tired of all of their copyright requests that they eventually just fold.
Digimon that you catch, you convert in this game, you have so many build options for them with mix and matching your equipment, your attachment skills, even changing their personality around to match builds from your agent skills. Like, there is so much to do in this game. Like, the side missions are actually fun. I've only done one so far with the mystery of the missing shirts, but even that was fun. Everything in Digimon Storytime Stranger is what I wish Pokemon would at least attempt to do. It actually feels like an innovation on the formula. It is so refreshing. It also serves to showcase the potential of the genre, something that Pokemon refuses to even attempt to capture. Like, it fails to even try to reach like the actual potential that this genre offers. I have been really enjoying Digimon Storytime Stranger, but even if I hadn't played Storytime Stranger, I still wouldn't be playing Pokemon Za. I just don't have interest in playing what appears to me to be another half-baked Pokemon game where like its big selling points that are supposed to make people pump their fist are the simplest shit ever, like being able to move during a fight. Like, if that's really how low the bar is, it's sad. Like, everything I have seen that people are praising for it are the simplest, smallest alterations on the same stale path that it has walked for over a decade now. And I just have no interest in forcing myself to play it and being miserable grinding through the 10, 20, 30-ish hours that I would put into it. I don't want this video to all just be me, you know, bah-humbugging Pokemon Za, because there is another game that I have a very similar feeling of. Another culprit. Call of Duty Black Ops 7. I think that game looks like the same shit again.
It does, yeah.
I am so tired of the Call of Duty cycle where I buy the new Call of Duty, I maybe find a few things to like about it for a little bit, and then I'm done after like 6 hours because it's just boring. It's just doing the same thing as I've done for fucking like 15 years now in these Call of Duty.
There you go. Biggest problem with the Call of Duty formula is the fact that they reuse maps. Like, they need to actually just start making new shit. Like, let's be real. By now, nobody wants to play Nuketown every fucking game. We've had Nuketown every game for the past, like you said, like 15 fucking years. We get like a 1-game break every other year, and that's it. And then the next game releases, and it's Nuketown every single match for an entire year. They do make new maps and people don't like them. Well, those are just cringe motherfuckers who are living in the past because they peaked in high school. If I could put a thumbs up, I would. Nuketown is a shipment of Treyarch. I mean, see, Shipment is actually fast-paced, though. It makes sense to keep redoing Shipment. It's the only fast-paced map like it. Nuketown is mid to large size still. It's not very fast-paced. Nothing ever changes. House on either side with 2 fucking vehicles in the middle. Wow, so unique and creative. Like, the only fun thing about Nuketown is when you can do zombies on it because it's a small map. That's the only good thing about it.
Games. So, I am also sitting out Call of Duty Black Ops 7, which is the first Call of Duty game I haven't bought since Ghosts. And I am very excited to not have to force myself into a Call of Duty game just for the sake of trying it out to see if there's finally something new there. I have too many times
the last one I bought was MW3 and then I just refunded it.
Where they convince you, you know, fucking mind control you into thinking that there's something new and different about it.
Like
they did the same thing for the last Black Ops game with the Omni movement, where I really thought we were about to get like Max Payne level movement freedom expression, when really it doesn't matter at all. It is so trivial of a difference you don't even notice it. And I already know I'm going to feel the same way about Black Ops 7 based on all of the gameplay and everything I've seen from it, so I'm not going to be forcing myself to play that game either. I'll just be sitting that out too. Again though, I'm not the fun police here, so if you're someone excited for Black Ops 7, you enjoyed the betas and whatever, can't wait, all power to you. It's just not for me anymore. I'll wait for a Call of Duty that actually looks new and different in my eyes, where I'll give it another fair shake. But the whole point of me even yapping on this topic in this video is because I basically play like every game ever, and like for my gaming channel, and I've always said like I'll definitely at least try things just to see if I'm wrong about it. Like Assassin's Creed Shadows. Assassin's Creed is my actual least favorite franchise in gaming. I have not liked an Assassin's Creed game in so many years. And the last one that I enjoyed to any degree was Black Flag, and I didn't even like that as much as everyone else seemed to. I really cannot stand the Assassin's Creed franchise, but I still pumped like 5 or 6 hours into Shadows and was miserable. And it was exactly what I expected it to be. So what was the point in me doing that, wasting the money, and spending that time playing that game, knowing full well the whole time that I already probably wasn't going to like it because it is just, again, the same thing. It just doesn't make sense. I'd much rather...
The problem with these series that have, like, unique things is, like, Assassin's Creed. You know, the reason I think the reason he doesn't like Black Flag, he said he liked it, but not as much as everyone else, is because Black Flag was the game in which they started removing parkour. It started becoming less and less in every game after that. Especially once, like, Valhalla and Origins hit. Holy fucking shit. It's not even an Assassin's Creed game anymore. It's just an RPG game where you can climb shit. That's the only difference. I think even with how buggy and absolutely hilarious that Black Flag was at launch, it was probably where the series actually officially peaked. Maybe Unity, actually. I would say possibly Unity as well. Unity was just as bad on launch. You can definitely tell all these years later, though, that they actually took their time with Unity and Black Flag. The rest of them literally just feel like they slapped the name on the game just to make it sell copies. Kind of like Silent Hill F. It feels like a really bad bootleg that they just put the Silent Hill name on to sell more copies. It does not feel good to play. It is so bulky and just slow by comparison. Gotta play F2. I'm gonna be real. You should watch me. If you play them, play F first. Because if you play the 2 remake and then play F, you are going to be so disappointed at how much worse the combat gets. Like, I know people had complained about 2's combat because it was repetitive. It was the exact same animations, and every single enemy of each type fought the exact same way. But holy shit, F is bad. It is the exact same for every enemy type. You do the exact same thing for every type of enemy. It's at least 2 it was you needed to have like a different attack combo for the different enemy types. Like the ones that are like it's 2 pairs of legs just stacked on top of each other. Did play you finished it? Saw me play it a bit. I saw you play it a bit. Yeah, did you finish it? I don't even know if you finished it. I finished. Oh, did you? All right. Well, then go play F. Yeah, have fun with that. It is going to be miserable. Like I know for 2, the normal enemies you could just smack 3 times and they died. The 2 pairs of legs you had to smack twice and then dodge once. It never changed between the types of enemies, but they had their own like combos that you had to do against them. The nurses, annoying as hell. You had to smack them twice, maybe 3 times if you hit them early with the first one, then dodge and then do it again, and you just kept doing that until they died. But F, man, oh my god. F is literally just keep swinging. Like, the parry system, completely worthless. Just keep fucking swinging. They will die eventually. Like, there is no reason to do anything but heavy attacks. Just keep getting the right click.
That time, playing games that I think I'll probably like,
The
or
links
games that
might
are
come
fun
for
shitty that might be entertainingly bad, which I also really like. So, I think just from now on, if a game looks like something I'm going to fucking
Shadows
hate,
was good.
I
Should go back and
probably
finish it at some
won't
point.
bother playing it.
I need to play it
So
eventually
anyway,
sometime.
I just wanted to talk about this a little bit. That's it. So yeah.
I actually went for Silent Hill F over Shadows, and, you know, you need strategy when you have consistent attacking. Yeah. That's honestly what made it worse, though, because, like, had the design been just based off of just smack them until they die, that would have been better than what they had. Because then at least they meant for it to happen, right? But with the current system, you have attacking, you have parrying, and you have dodging. Except more often than not, you use the dodging to just skip enemies. You just dodge past them. You don't really dodge in a fight, and you basically never have to parry because parrying is actually basically worthless. You're just wasting effort trying to get perfect parries to do more damage on the next hit. Then you can just smack them. You can smack them with 2 heavy attacks in the time it takes you to parry, and then the 2 heavy attacks do more damage. So, and then when you're heavy attacking them, it stuns them every second or third hit, I think it was. Which means you have enough time to smack them 2 or 3 more times to just keep stun locking them. It was such a bad design. And if you couldn't get them in that stun lock, you basically were like guaranteed to lose half your HP because they almost 100% of the time got a hit on you. I have a question for you. What's your favorite fighting game? Like, actual fighting games? Like, need a fight pad kind of fighting games? Like, oh god. Yeah. I do not know. I have not played a fighting game in so long. It was Street Fighter for me. My biggest issue with fighting games is I really only used to play them when I was like a lot younger, like fucking 5 to 10 years ago. Except fighting games are like 50% skill and 50% who can buy the most expensive items to play the game with. Because a good fight pad will take you much further than a controller or keyboard mouse ever fucking will. Like, it is crazy. Just because of the layouts, the layout alone. Played a lot of Super Smash Bros. When I was little, on the GameCube and the Wii. I still have a Wii. It's in the closet right now. Have not plugged that shit in like 4 years, but it's there. No GameCube, though. Noise Critical just changed streaming forever? I don't think so. I think he changed streaming for the top dogs making the most money. Because if Charlie, as pretty small as he is, has made 40 million and after tax like 25 million, like you look at something like Kai Cenat, right? You know, Begathon, literally, like it. Looking at those numbers, it is literally a begathon, bro. Like, if Charlie's made 40 million before tax, Kai has probably made close to, like, 400 or 500 million before tax. And you still need to do subathons. Yeah. I think he more so changed it for the top 0.1%. Because it's not going to affect anyone else. It's going to affect the big streamers who are doing subathons, just basically begging for money. Gonna test to it. He does have the Wii in the closet. How the hell would you know that? Do I have the hand-eye coordination for it? Tekken beat that one out of me. I do. It's just I have not played them in forever. I don't think I would care to. They also don't really have that necessarily that high of a skill ceiling. Like, if you just played it every day and just practiced for like a month, you would be one of the top players. If you could just put like 8 to 12 hours a day to it. Because fighting games are basically just combos. So if you can learn how to click those faster than anyone else, GG's. literally Mickey Mouse 11
You
out
know
of
your
10.
thoughts. Pluto.
Oh, yeah. Abysmal dog shit.
Oh boy! I'm gonna try it with my left hand now!
Wow. Brain for gore. Unbanned every Twitch viewer. Why the fuck would you do that? what is that? I love the baby. Legalized nuclear bomb. Has bro done it yet, or is he still just yapping about it? It looks like no. By the way, who did your model? One second. Copy the link. It is them. I think the only game I've actually been called a slur on is Apex. How long is left? 40 minutes. Now the question, do I let 40 minutes go down tonight? Or do I do it tomorrow? Probably tomorrow, huh? Movie right now? Yeah? Want to do a movie night already? It's 8. What'd you do for 40 minutes? I don't fucking know. Something, probably. Myself. Play Minecraft. Not gonna say it, yeah? Let me guess. Me? Fennec says, I want to be there to watch more Reiki, but I'm super busy. I stream on the weekends. I've missed more upload days than I have stream days, which is honestly insane. Even though it's shorts only take like 5 minutes realistically to edit, but it's just a lot of work. Why Baby No Money doesn't wash his hair? Why does that show up now? And yikes, bro. There is actually theory to that, but it's not just straight up not washing it. It's letting the natural oils, you know, help repair your hair, and not using, usually shampoo, you'll only use conditioner. More so after you do something to damage your hair, like bleaching it. Otherwise, it's pretty worthless, and if your hair is damaged, that's more a you issue. Just straight up not washing your hair, kinda weird. Little bit. Especially with all that money, you know, you could just go to a salon, get hair treatments done, could, you know, could just wash it. Bro is trying to be Asmongold 2.0? Probably not stream at 3 a.m. so I can actually get viewers. And then there's me, I just kind of stream whenever now. It's supposed to be 1. Hasn't been 1 in a while. PM a month ago, yeah. I guess for the first stream, I think I did get it at 1, yeah. It's a record for you. I think about it. I just typed in backspace. Or not backspace, backslash, damn. Is it 40 or 50? Analytics achievements. It is 50 for build a community to get VIP badges. I think I want to say I only get. I think it's 10 for the first one. Views from channels. You know what's funny is I recognize basically all these names, and I guarantee it's from, most likely, if I had to guess, Izzy and Sparky. Bro, Twitch has some issues. New engaged viewers, 57%. Returning engaged viewers, 57%. That equals 114. Don't think that's how that works. You planning on doing any horror games this month? I actually have done a lot this month so far. I think I started the month off with like almost 40 of them. Just itch games. And now I am in a situation where I don't have many left. I guess me and Opie still actually do have Devour. Still need to do that. These recommendations bad. It's jump scare season, and we've got tricks and treats to celebrate. Stream to the limited time Fright Fest category and earn perks for streaming together and sharing clips. Ayo. And just streaming together. So many people literally just add stream, like they just start a stream together even though they're not even like streaming together at all. Like there's so many times I've seen people not even playing the same game, not even in the same Discord call or anything, and they just have stream together running for free viewers just to get boosted in the rank, which is fucking insane that they allow that. You know, the one where you're at work at a gas station late at night? I'm going to be real. As far as itch games or indie games go, that's like 90% of them. I know quite a few. At least half of them you end up in a gas station at some point, even if you're not working in it. Damn fair. heeuwu.dds from Elder Scrolls for lib custom icons. I was like, what the hell is that file? I have a gun, I think. Wait, are you talking about oh my god, what's it called? Let me check my videos folder. 1 second. Shift at Midnight. The one with the doppelgangers? Where you have to check IDs? Skinwalker one? Yeah. Yes? Very much. I actually have a video on it. One of the one of the few videos I do have. Half of them are just reacts because I was lazy, and the other half are actually... There's 4 videos, by the way. It's 2 and 2. I'm a good pun. No. There is 28 minutes now. Do we go do the movie night? I'm just kind of here now. Might as well finish the timer, yeah? What the hell do I do for that long? You see as a bed turns into loaf, yeah? Yap? What the hell am I supposed to yap about? You act like yapping is easy. Yap about yapping. Very insightful. About lion things. I don't know. The cheetah destroying the layout. Yeah, that was me. Sorry, I accidentally dropped my bag. They just went everywhere. Payday 2, the next chapter. Quality of life improvements. Hey, this might be a stretch, and I know I'm stepping out of line, but like, what about quality of life improvements? For number 3, the new game. What about that one? What about the quality of life and general game fixes for the current game? The one that has all the problems. They gave up on 3. They definitely did. Yeah, they just left that shit in the dust. Gasp. How are you doing? Wait, what the hell? Sidetrack, formerly known as the Mug Team, is a talented team with deep roots in the Payday modding community. Their work on World War II showed that they have skill and perseverance to deliver quality updates over a long time. They know the Payday 2 engine inside and out and have already gotten started. First update goes live October 3rd, 23rd. Collaborating with Sidetrack Games allows Starbreeze to maintain full focus on Payday 3 while Payday 2 continues to deliver value of all players with dedicated expert support they deserve. I don't know about you, but the last time, you may not remember, the last time that a modding team got access to updating a game to keep it running, a few million people lost a few $1 million. Okay? You know, they only basically rug pulled an entire fucking game. But yeah, sure, let's just give a modding community complete free roam to update the game. That makes perfect sense. Well, I guess I am never downloading Payday 2 again, because I'd rather not lose everything to a bunch of fucking hackers, because it's gonna happen. It'll happen. Someone will decide, hey, I want a shit ton of money, and they're going to update the game with something malicious. Yeah, that is absolutely insane. Why would you ever put trust into a modding team to give actual updates to your game? Yikes. Hey, to hear my grammar sucks. You guys were talking about Payday? What, like the candy bar? The headliners, update incoming, mid-October drop. It's the French update, oh my god. The White House. Can the monsters go break that down IRL? I actually, holy shit, didn't even mean that it's already happening. Accidentally tied in a link to IRL right there. Would have been perfect foreshadowing like 2 days ago. Pal World, Depresso Espresso. That's crazy, bro. They're selling drinks. Does Dead by Daylight have any controversies going on right now? Anything broken still? Are you streaming tomorrow? Yes, I should be. I mean, JRM has a infinitely palette saving myself in solo queue video, so there might be some issues in the game currently. might be some. That is actually the worst courier to exist? Oh yeah, definitely. That's just US shipping though. You saw how fast it went from Japan to the US, literally took like 5 hours. And then it's been stuck in one state across the country for like 4 days now. Try to send a support ticket, just get an error. So fucking stupid. That one might be because of AWS, realistically. Still blame them because I'm annoyed. Oh, there's a pretty good chance it is actually their fault, though, yeah. Honestly, the best thing about DBD so far is the bear skin for Oni. There's 20 minutes left. What if I save the last 20 minutes for tomorrow at the start of stream? I am Backle, yeah? I guess. You know the possibility, though? If I save it and then right when it gets down to 1 minute, someone adds like 10 hours again. Just hype up the whole stream and then end it, yeah? Probably give it to the next day. Journey is going to add more time to it, yeah? Except he wants it to end, so why would he? As if he's awake. Suffer the fuck. Yeah. I forgot something again. You make me scream? Good. Also, NASA tested my chain theory in space. I mean, it's not a chain theory. You want to know why? Because you're using physics as your theory, stuff that's already been discovered. Like, anyone could have assumed a chain was going to work this way. I'm just looking at the preview of the video. Like, there is no theory here. I'm gonna be real. You did nothing special. This is stuff we've already known for decades now. There is no chain theory here. Because literally anybody who knows anything about space could have predicted that's how a chain was going to react. Also, has anybody else noticed that YouTube has no logical spacing anymore? Like, here, just really quick. Look at this shit really quick. Look at these videos, how they're lined up. Look at the gaps between them, okay? Look where they go, and then it goes over here. And this one is almost lined up, but then this one isn't. But then why is this gap so big, and this one's so small? And then small, big, and then it flips. Now this one's small, and this one's big. And then, like, and then these both are small again. Like, I was going crazy? No. It is so bad. There you go, just random large gap again. Like, the entire platform just makes no sense. Maybe I have to see this and never unsee it again. How much time left? It's right there at the top, 13. PewDiePie, thanks for 15 years. Wait, oh my god, do I see a bro fist in the thumbnail? Bro hadn't done one of those since the last video about... Since his last song with T-Series. I'm always playing ZZ. He feels so old. Stop. Good Times with Scar life update. Guessing some kind of oxygen problem. Oh, wait, in a wheelchair, I think. What the hell? Word of the week might be Taco Bell's best item yet. Bro actually still gets views. It's crazy that this formula has been working for this long. every hidden advantage of your blood type? Nothing. There's only the advantage of one blood type, which is you can give to anybody. You can't take from anybody, though, so... Don't even know my blood type. Me either. I do not know. The cost of becoming Jinxie, fame isn't free. I mean, when you're just yelling at a webcam all day, I'd say it's pretty free, yeah. This one that lets you take it from any... You mean give to anyone? Oh, positive. Thought there was one that lets you get any blood type. Oh yeah, there is. AB positive. It's considered the universal recipient because it can receive blood from any blood type. O negative is the universal donor. Can be given to. Or is it, I might have said it wrong, yeah. I don't remember this stupid chart. It is such a complex chart. I guarantee you, realistically, well, it's not really a complex chart because it does have a layout to it. Like, it does have a order. However, I think I would say it's probably safe to say that I doubt any doctor or nurse has this thing memorized. It's not the most complex shape ever, but like remembering the side and top of the graph and then knowing the order of each box, would it'd be so much work. On you, yeah? Case closed. Conclusive proof Megabonk was made by Danny. I don't even know why that game blew up. Like, it's literally what I said earlier. Like, people will start playing indie games just because they're indie games. Like, that game has, like, nothing of unique value. There is literally hundreds of games just like it that look better, play better, run better, character creators, etc. Like, I don't know. Proximity chat. I'm the most wanted man on VR chat. It is crazy that fucking YouTube allows channels like that to exist. Bro's entire fucking channel is just meant to spread hate for views, and he is just allowed to stay on YouTube. What the fuck is Megabonk? A dog shit game that XQC was playing. Past couple years. Laser pointer at 2 billion FPS makes the speed of light look kind of weird. Except it doesn't. It would just look like light still because you can't perceive 2 billion FPS. And slowing it down doesn't make it look weird. It makes it look slowed down. Yes, you can. Yeah, you're going to tell me you can perceive the difference between 1.999999 billion and 2 billion FPS? Good luck with that. Computers can't even render 2 billion FPS. There's a video that'll show you how. It'll show you how in very bad terms because you like quite literally can't. Again, if you slow it down, the reason it looks weird is because it's slowed down. It's just slowed down light. It's the same idea as if you recorded it at 60 FPS and slowed it down. The only difference is you're missing, what is it? 1,999,940 FPS? It's the exact same thing, just with less FPS. The more you add to it, just the more frames you get of it moving. It's kind of the same with audio. The higher you make the sample rate and the bit depth, it's just still the same sound, it's just you're getting more to it. Typing battle royale? What the hell? Dan TDM was right about Mr. Beast Lunchly. Did they shut down? What the hell? App. There is 3 minutes left. Ranking funniest Sora AI videos. None of them, because none of them are funny. They're really bad, in fact. Put the Halloween Blight add-on on Blight, he gains another charge to his power. I mean, I figured that's how it would work. And when I tell a half-truth, is that not actually it? Great songs by bad artists. You want to know why? You want to know why they're great songs by otherwise bad artists? It's a little secret about the music industry most people don't know. Is the tracks are just bought. Like, majority of the time, the artist doesn't make the track. Like, there's a few artists where it is very clear they do. Like, for instance, Eminem. Very recognizable flow. There's everything about his tracks very recognizable. Kind of the same with Kendrick. Slightly, tiny bit with Drake. I mean, half of his songs you can tell are produced by like 400 people. So not really. I would say Drake is probably the worst of modern artists. Actually, maybe Taylor Swift. That's gonna get me some shit, but maybe Taylor Swift. But when it comes to like the artist in this thumbnail, like MGK, Ice Spice, Soulja Boy, they just buy these, bro. Drake doesn't even write his own lyrics, so he doesn't even count. Does he not? I didn't even know that. Yeah, that's why I said you can tell they're produced by like 400 million people. At least Swift writes her songs. Yeah, when it comes to music, usually it's just bought. Like they just buy the beat with the lyrics. Like someone else makes the track, they write the lyrics, and they just sell the whole thing off as a package. That is how a majority of the music industry works. You just sell it off as a package. Someone else just redoes the lyrics and then post it as their song, and there you go. Everyone makes money. The management teams of the artist and the artists have to do the bare minimum. They make money, and the producers make money, so everyone wins. Except the producers are usually like really fucking underpaid. And then they end up going on strike because they make so little money. Which makes sense. It is much more common in pop and hip-hop than it is any other genre. But pop and hip-hop, you can almost guarantee the person singing the song did not write a single part of that song. Almost 100% of the time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it is over. Look at that. It's official. It time's up for real this time. It didn't just go away because I forgot to turn off the timer. Look at that. I'm technically free to do whatever, even though I kind of the plot was lost like 3 days in. I'm not gonna lie, it's been 200 hours. The plot got lost so fast because I ran out of games to do within like a week. Happy New Year's. You can just replace the power and you can use it in the normal one. Happy New Year's. I'm whatever, yeah. I already read the New Year's one. I read up and then back down. They just posted the biggest DBD stat drop yet. Why is it in Japanese? You know my favorite thing about Japanese? How they had their own writing system, and then they were like, you know what, let's steal from the Chinese. Except the Chinese were like, yeah, let's make the most complex writing system on the planet where every single word has an entirely different, very complex symbol, and we're just never going to fix it. and the Japanese thought it was a good idea to ruin what they had going by just adopting it. And then there's Koreans. Honestly, smart as hell. They just have a bunch of building blocks, and they just like cram the building blocks together, and that's how you pronounce it. They just have like they have partial symbols that have sounds, and they just cram those partial symbols of sounds together to make a full sound to create a word. So basically, like every Roman language on the planet, but with symbols instead. And for some reason, both Chinese and Japanese have just stayed the same way for hundreds to thousands of years. They never got the idea. I guess if it's not broke, don't fix it. Except it kind of is. When it comes to whatever you do not search up Chinese keyboard. If you want an actual keyboard, you more so get a key plate, assuming it has words on it and not partials. Yeah, if you were to, it's basically a giant. It's a bunch. A bunch of giant spheres of keys, plus a center plaque in the middle. Basically, they have them based on what word is used the most. The most important ones are in front of you, the ones that are used the most, and then they spread out to in front of you, to your sides, or to your sides. Really easy to reach. In front of you, and then behind you, basically. So they go based on the most commonly used. And here you go. If made mechanical, the full Chinese keyboard could become the most expensive thing you can buy, short of a Ferrari. Yeah, even though it is not a literal thing, it is the only logical way to make it a thing, apart from the fact of how they managed it. The way they managed actual keyboards was just like really simplifying it down and then making it so you combine things to make things. Kind of like with phones. Like basically all phones, the keyboards are small, and then you actually, I believe for most non-Roman languages, if you have a different language, sometimes it won't even display that language. You'll still type it in English, and then it will just fill out into the current language. So like you type in how it's pronounced with Roman characters, and then it will autocorrect into the symbol. It's really scuffed systems. Or I found another one. They have an entire book with a pamphlet, and you have to type in key codes. It goes from 1 to 15, and you have to type in the string of numbers to type out the word. So when you're on the last few pages of the book, this key code might be like 15, 12, 19, 2, 3, some crazy shit like that, and then you get one word for all that. Yeah, process of typing on the IPX keyboard involved using a booklet of characters used to press one of 160 keys, selecting one of 15 numbers to pick the character within the key. You have a booklet of characters to press one of 160 keys, and then you select one of the 15 numbers in that key using a separate shift key to indicate when a page of the booklet was flipped. Yeah, you have 160 keys to 15 to shift, which means 2,400 Chinese characters printed on laminated paper, bound together in a spiral-bound booklet that the operator laid down flat atop the IPX interface. The IPX keys weren't buttons, as on a QWERTY device, but pressure-sensitive pads pushed down on the spiral-bound booklet to depress whichever keypad was directly underneath. To reach characters 2,401 through 19,200, the operator simply turned the spiral-bound booklet to whichever page contained the desired character. Booklets contained up to 8 pages. Each page contained 2,400 characters, so the total number of potential symbols came to just shy of 20,000. Imagine having a keyboard, basically, with 20,000 buttons, and that's how you type. And for some reason, a long time ago, the Japanese looked at the system and thought, we should use that as well as ours. And still to this day. Because you can't even type on a regular keyboard. How is he supposed to use that? That's crazy. Yeah, I believe Chinese is usually considered to be the hardest language to learn just because of their fucking writing system. Because, like, good luck. It will probably take you a few years just to learn how to read. You could master the language in a few months if you just spent all day, every day learning to speak it, but good luck trying to read. Because every symbol is a word, and they are all different, and some of them are very subtly different, so reading it incorrectly will completely change the meaning of what you're reading. Like, entirely change it. It is crazy. I don't get how they haven't fixed it yet. You have, obviously, traditional Chinese and simplified, but their simplified version is like, it's like turning fucking nuclear physics into just normal physics. It's like, you didn't do a very good job at simplifying it. Yeah, Chinese is often considered the hardest of the three due to its tonal nature, while Japanese is seen as the most challenging overall because of its complex writing system and grammar, followed by Chinese and then Korean. However, Korean is widely praised as the easiest to start with because of its phonetic alphabet, Hangul, but its grammar complexity can increase at higher levels. So Chinese is considered hard due to its tonal nature, and then Japanese is seen as the most challenging because of its complex writing system. The writing system they in part got from the Chinese. And then, of course, followed by Chinese for obvious reasons. Who would have thought having 3 writing systems for one language was going to make it difficult? You can't, you're not allowed to use that. Yeah, cool cat. Okay, well, I am going to end it to do the movie night. I will be in the Discord in the channel in a little bit, probably not too long, probably like 5 minutes. You need to get something to drink, go to the bathroom. Sorry, he ain't cool. I will be back tomorrow. Not entirely sure what time, but I don't believe you, lion thing. The hell you mean by that? Never mind, yeah. Not too sure what to do tomorrow. No idea really. I guess I will have to see. Why? Okay, good night.